All right, we are going to start the class. We are going to be learning all about alarms for this day, types of alarms that we have on board. So let me grab the material, types of alarms on board. Okay, welcome, Angel. We are going to start the class. We are going to take a look at the different type of alarms for this day that we have on board. Different types of alarm on ships. So each ship is going to have an alarm system, and we have different types of alarms. We need to get ready for every situation and every scenario, and to find out what the alarm is all about. So let's start with this. So in maritime, emergency at sea does not come with an alarm. Still, ship emergency signals and alarms can help us tackle a crisis or avoid an emergency efficiently and in the right way. Emergency signals, all our alarms on a ship are installed all over the vessel's various systems and machinery to notify the crew about a dangerous situation that can arise from different types of emergency on board the ship. So we have different types of alarms that we are going to be learning all about today. And let's take a look at the first one. General alarm. General alarm. Okay. So we have seven short sounds, and one long sound. 7 short sounds and 1 long sound. That's the general alarm. It can be whether from the electric bell or the ship horn. Okay. So let's take a look at how they sound. Okay, that's for the general alarm. So that's the first one. Okay, to follow aim to the master station, and also to look for the signals to the station. We also have a muster list. Okay, we have every person in the crew to follow those guidelines. Muster list. Muster list. You know, it's a list when a problem arises. And usually it's going to be, you know, printed, and it's going to be on various areas of the ship. I'm going to send the list for you. Okay, so duties. Well, this is a type. Este es un tipo, and we have different activities for all the persons there. Okay. Whenever, wherever, however, we on board, before we proceed to the cabin, usually we look on the master list, try to capture designated duties for me and for the others. For our master list is very essential. It's a very essential part of a ship. It concerns with safety on the ship while emergencies, and it is frequently updated of chief officer. So this applies to all ships, okay? To all ships. Below are some regulations. So let's have some reading for you, Angel. Please, can you read the first one? This one, clear instructions.
Clear instructions to be followed in the event of an emergency shall be language required by the ship's flag state and in the English language.
Okay, so clear instructions. Clear instructions to be followed in the event of an emergency shall be provided for every person on board in the language or languages required by the ship's flag state and in the English language. So pretty important, okay? All the safety procedures are going to follow in the ship's flag state language and also in the English language. Let's continue with you, Danilo. Please, muster list and emergency.
Muster list and emergency instructions shall be exhibited in conspicuous place through the ship, including the navigation accommodation spaces.
Okay, muster lists and emergency instructions shall be exhibited in conspicuous places throughout, esta pues es una palabra un poquito complicada, pero throughout the ship, including the navigation bridge, engine room, and crew accommodation spaces. Okay, so muster list and emergency instructions shall be exhibited in conspicuous places throughout the ship, not just in one place, right? Throughout the ship, throughout es alrededor, por todo, throughout significa eso. Included the navigation bridge, el puente de mando, okay, navigation bridge. De repente, pues algunas cosas, pues si ustedes igual quisieran apuntarlas, navigation bridge es puente de mando, engine room es la sala de máquinas, engine room, and crew accommodation spaces. ¿Sí? Y en los dormitorios de la tripulación. Okay? Let's continue with this one. Angel, please.
The muster list shows specific details of the general emergency alarm and public address system and action to be taken by crew and passengers when this alarm is sounded. The muster list should also specify how the order to abandon ship will be given.
Okay, so the muster list shall specify details of the general emergency alarm and public address system action to be taken by crew and all passengers when this alarm is sounded. The master list shall also specify how the order to abandon ship will be given. Okay, so in the case of an emergency, this needs to be really clear, and all the procedures to be done by each member of the crew and also the passengers. Right, really important. And let's move to you, Danilo, please.
The muster list shall specify which officers are assigned to ensure that life-saving and fire places are maintained use.
Okay. So, for this, shall specify, debería especificar o deberá especificar. Deberá, no debería, es should. Sí, la lista de reunión, podría decir, especifica qué oficiales están asignados para salvaguardar a la tripulación y qué equipo contra combate del fuego va a ser utilizado, ¿verdad? Are maintained in good condition and are ready for immediate use. Okay. Which officers are assigned to ensure condition and are ready for immediate use. Así que tanto va a decir qué oficiales están asignados a qué cosa, cuál, y que se mantenga siempre, ¿ok? El equipo contra el combate del fuego y el equipo equipo salvavidas, ¿verdad? Todo el tiempo. Okay, that's for you, Ángel.
The master list should specify substitutes for key persons who may become disabled.
Okay, so that's really important. So the master list shall specify these substitutes. So for example, the officer of the watch is going to have the responsibility if the captain is disabled or is gone, like the Costa Concordia. Remember that the captain, took off. El capitán se fue de Costa Concordia, ¿sí? Lo peor que pudo haber hecho. Y ahora está ahí con varios años de cárcel. Y pues el officer de watch tuvo que empezar a mover todo en esa situación. Okay, Ana, are you there? Can you read this, please? Okay, don't worry. Let's move now to Tito, please.
The monster list shall be prepared before the ship proceeds to sea.
Okay, so that's key, to prepare the list before going to the sea and to have all that information already filled in. Okay, so we have a lot of designations. The master list shall show the duties assigned to different members of the crew. I sent you a more visual representation. Una representación ahí de lo que es este master list, un ejemplo. Tiene algunas cosas así como una falla de ortografía, pero pueden abrirla ahí también. And today is all about alarms. Hoy es todos de alarmas, ¿verdad? De los tipos de alarmas. Cómo reaccionamos, how we react to different. We have different types of alarms: general alarm, fire alarm, man overboard alarm, We have CO2 alarms, navigation alarm, engine room. Just the three categories that are most important. Well, all alarms are important, but these are like three of the bigger ones that need to be addressed quickly. Okay, general alarm. Please, Tito, can you read this? Interior crew.
Interior crew evacuate with the life jackets and proceed with life jackets.
Okay, so as for this, the interior crew evacuate guests with life jackets and proceed to muster station. Crew to muster stations with life jackets. So the preparation for, you cannot do anything else. If you are a passenger on a ship, you are just going to follow orders and just keep calm. Okay, that's for the general alarm, and short rings and one long ring, whether from the alarm bell, that's going to be electronic alarm bell, or it can be also from the ship horn. So we have an example. Okay, that's for the first one, general alarm, all right? 7 short sounds and 1 long sound. So the general alarm The general emergency alarm on the ship is recognized by 7 short ringings of the bell, followed by a long ring, or using the ship horn signal for 7 short blasts, followed by 1 long blast. The general alarm in a ship is sounded to make the crew aware that an emergency has occurred, such as fire, collision, grounding, or a scenario that can lead to abandoning the ship. Okay, grounding. Does anybody know what this means? Alguien que sepa qué significa eso de grounding. O más o menos una idea.
Yo creo que es varado, estar varado.
¿Okay? Todo viene de lo que es el ground es tierra, ¿verdad? Ground es tierra, grounding sería tocar tierra o como dice el encallamiento. Okay. Fire, right? And collision, like the Titanic, okay? Or a scenario that can lead to abandoning the ship. The vessel general alarm system activation point is located in the navigation bridge. Navigation bridge. Para los que no lo tienen claro, navigation bridge, puente de mando. Okay? Navigation bridge. Muchas veces se va a llamar solo bridge. Bridge. Once the general alarm signal on board is activated, 7 short, 1 long blast. 7 short, 1 long blast. Every ship crew must follow the instruction and duties listed in the muster list and proceed to the designated muster station. Okay, so you already know what a muster list, you already know your role in the ship's crew, so you need to follow your instructions from the muster list. So this is the muster list for the general alarm. What is the master going to do? What is the master going to do? On bridge in command, maneuver the vessel into best position, coordinate operations, distress communications. Number 1, live raft command. Okay, he's going to be the number 1 because we have numbers for the live rafts. It's going to be number 1. Number 1, live raft command. Any question? If you have any question, just let me know. All right. As for the mate, that is the right hand of the captain, this is the captain. Master también se le llama al captain. Ship's master. Okay, ship's master or the master or the captain. The mate. That's the second person that is really important, is the right hand of the master. You know, collect the EPIRF and SART or SART. Okay, collect the EPIRF or SART and SART. Activate the EPIRF. Collect grab bags, GMDSS, BHFS, like, and flares. Assist with guests into rafts. Okay. Assist with guests into rafts. GMDSS, I think that's a system for communications. Remember the VHF radio that has 30 miles of how we are going to, you know, communicate with other ships inside that 30-mile radio. Okay, so this is the GMDSS. GMDSS. VHF radio, handheld, portable, right? Portable, portable. The engineer, what is the engineer going to do, Danilo, please? What is the engineer going to do on the general alarm situation?
Sorry, teacher, repeat, please.
What is the engineer going to do on the general alarm situation? ¿Qué va a hacer el ingeniero o el jefe de ingeniería de máquinas en la situación de la alarma general?
Mm,
This is the duties. Esta es la lista que él tiene que hacer. ¿Qué es lo que va
sonar
a hacer?
alarma y asegurarse.
In English, that's in English, pero es
Oh.
esto, ¿eh? O sea, esto que estoy mostrando acá, esta master list son todas las actividades que van a hacer, que va a hacer la tripulación en los diferentes tipos de alarma, ya sea fire alarm, general alarm, or man overboard. Así que, ¿qué va a hacer el ingeniero? Siempre en inglés. Okay? You can read this.
Launch rifles and security for boarding when ordered by captain. Prepare tender lifeboat for launch.
Okay. So, the chief engineer is going to launch live rafts unsecured for boarding when ordered by captain. Prepare the lifeboat, prepare the tender for launch. Okay, so remember that the lifeboats are, suspended on the sides of the ship. They have a hydraulic system to lower them and to throw them to the water. So the engineer must be prepared for that. Lifeboat has the difference with the life raft. Lifeboat es el bote salvavidas. Se recuerdan que ahí van varias personas adentro, como que fuera un pequeño bus, ¿verdad? Like a small bus. And you are going to follow all the procedures in order to have a free fall. And the life raft is different because the life raft es una balsa salvavidas. Son parecidos y son sinónimos en verdad. But the life raft is going to be rounded, okay, with a rounded shape. And the lifeboat is going to be like that small boat that has a hull, okay, and has all the surrounding from fiberglass, for example, fiberglass. Let's take a look at those pictures so you can take an idea of that. This is the lifeboat. Okay. Usually a big one that is surrounded, usually from fiberglass. All right. As for the Titanic, they didn't include many of the lifeboats and the life rafts because they needed more space. Okay. So a lot of people died because they didn't have life rafts or lifeboats. That's the lifeboat. Life raft. Okay, it's pretty different because it has this shape, rounded shape. It has also all the supplies, okay? It has all the things inside, but not like the life raft, not like the lifeboat, I'm sorry. Right? Take a look at the life raft. Okay, surrounded to avoid, all the heat from the sun getting into your body directly. And we have many stories. We have many stories for those people that were able to tell, how they survive with the lifeboat and life raft. Okay, este es un ejemplo entonces de muster list, ¿verdad? De lo que van a hacer las personas. Take a look at this. We have the second engineer, the deckhand, los marineros. ¿Qué hacen los marineros? Miren, deckhand, assist engineers to secure life rafts. Okay, the chef. Look at the chef. What is the chef going to do? Tito, please.
Chief stew or chef?
The chef. The chef.
Okay. Throw freshwater bottles into raft. Tenders, assistant engineer. Number 2, life raft.
Okay, so he's going to throw freshwater bottles into the rafts, the tenders. Tender is also the lifeboat, a synonym. And he's going to assist the engineer. Okay. Chief steward or stewardess. Okay. La jefa de personal. What is the chief steward or stewardess going to do, Danilo?
Head code of al west. Confirm they are correctly wearing PDF, short quest, and maintain com.
Okay, so the chief steward or stewardess is going to head count all guests, confirm they are all correctly wearing PFDs. What's a PFD? PFD, right? Personal flotation device. Personal flotation device. Or a life jacket. But we have different types. Okay. Different types of life jackets. Do you remember the word for this? Any of you? Este es examen. ¿Cómo era la palabra para eso? Están planchando, ¿no? Okay. So in all distress situations, crew is required to report to muster station wearing their PFDs. PFDs, ahora que ya saben, ¿verdad? PFD, Personal Flotation Device. Ahí lo apuntan porque no es como que uno se le queda así rápido. Under no circumstances are guests or crew to return to cabins for possessions, etc. after fire or general alarm has sounded. Look at that. It's pretty drastic, but I think that's okay. Under no circumstances are guests or crew to return to cabins for possessions, etc. So it's a big thing to not, to not go to the ship or to work with something that is of a high value. ¿De acuerdo? Entonces es muy importante no llevar cosas tan de valor porque no nos van a dejar, miren, no nos van a dejar regresar a los camarotes para las posesiones. All right. Let's continue. That's for the general alarm. Let's take a look at the fire alarm. Fire alarm. Okay, that's the fire alarm. Continues, okay, continues. Fire alarm on the ship. Whenever there is a fire detected on the vessel by its crew, they should raise the alarm signal on board ship by pressing the nearest fire switch. Okay, el interruptor de la alarma de incendios, fire switch. So that's going to be also throughout all the vessel. So you can signal that alarm, you can start that alarm. Or by loudly and continuously shouting, fire, fire, fire. The ship's fire alarm signal is sounded as the continuous ringing of the ship's electrical bell or the continuous sounding of the ship's horn. The fire signal must be a continuous blast of the whistle or the electrical bell for not less than 10 seconds. However, in most of the vessels, the fire signal is run continuously on the alarm bell. Once the master decides to dismiss the crew from fire stations, the general alarm will be sounded 3 times, okay, when everything is solved. But the master is going to decide that whether to dismiss or to continue the actions. Okay, followed by 3 short blasts of the ship's whistle. Will be sounded 3 times. 3 times, followed by 3 short blasts of the ship's whistle. Action to be taken by the crew once the ship's fire alarm is sounded: proceed to the fire station, confirm the location of the fire, and perform the duty listed on the muster list as per team assigned. Okay, also a critical situation that needs to be addressed immediately. On the ship, we have fire stations too. I'm sorry, give me a minute.
Vessel on fire, vessel on fire, vessel on fire. Out. Navigator Saturn, navigator Saturn, navigator Saturn.
Attention, crew. This is fire drill, fire drill, fire drill. Fire in the crew, smoking crew, fire in the crew, smoking crew. Here on the port side, there is the storage area. Bridge, emergency squad, boundary cooling in progress, emergency fire pump running. 2 fire hoses from the port side, one from forward, one from back, boundary cooling in progress. squad entering the silent position. Guys, we're still on fire. Emergency squad, correct? Roger that. Please use the dry powder extinguisher to extinguish the fire. Please, emergency squad, fire team number 1 reported domestic waste being on fire. I advise the to use the fire extinguisher, dry powder to extinguish the fire. Noted. Inside smoking room, being in the fire. Safety watch, I repeat, fire is under control, only smoke remaining. Safety watch will be put inside the smoking room. That's all.
Yes, chief mate, noted. The fire under control as report from support work. Very good, please control the fire. Control the place.
Okay. That's all. We'll secure the equipment.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Sir, a fire broke out in the galley.
Affirmative. Fire broke out in the gas.
Affirmative proceeding, sir.
Yes, hello, Master speaking.
Sir, I received a report that fire broke out in the galley.
Okay, copy. I'll be there at the bridge. Attention all hands. Attention all hands.
Attention all hands.
This is a drill. This is a drill. This is a drill. Fire in the galley. Fire in the galley.
Fire in the galley.
All hands proceed to your respective master station.
Sir, engineer, what is your duty and cleansing? Shutting ventilation.
Copy, firefighting team. Prepare all fire hoses.
Bridge, this is supporting team. All men are accounted for. Review duties and responsibilities. Waiting for further instructions.
Copy, supporting team. Close all ventilation leading to galley.
Bridge, this is machinery team. All men are accounted for. All electrical and ventilation are insulated in the vicinity of fire.
Copy, machinery team.
AB and EBP, start owning firehouse outfit. Third engineer, close ventilation. OS and wiper, close fire doors leading to galley. Move!
Yes, sir.
Fourth engineer, close all ventilations. Bossa, carry out boundary cooling.
Move!
All ventilation to the galley are closed.
Bridge, this is supporting team. Ventilation is closed. Standing by for boundary case.
Copy, supporting team. Stand by.
Open the valve! Open the valve! Valve open! Bridge, firefighting team, firefighters ready and hoses laid out. Standing by. Over.
Copy, firefighting team. Stand by.
Bridge, this is machinery team. Fire pump on standby and waiting for your command.
Copy, machinery team. Start emergency fire pump.
Bridge, this is supporting team. We will now start boundary cooling.
Copy, supporting team.
Bridge, this is firefighting team. Two firefighters are ready to combat the fire. Firefighters are EP Cali and EP Villaluna. Both of them are having 120 bars of PA oxygen. Over.
Copy, start fire fighting.
Start firefighting!
Team leader, fire extinguish. Fire is extinguished.
Bridge, this is firefighting team. Fire extinguished. I repeat, fire extinguished. Over.
Copy, fire is extinguished. Check for signs of reignition and cause of the fire.
Bridge, this is firefighting team. No sign of ignition and the cause of fire was photo wiring, sir. Over.
Copy, all teams. Drill dismiss.
All right, pretty good drill. Bastante bueno, muy bueno. So let's take a look at this. Lo vimos. What are these called? Do you remember these 4 things he has here? ¿Quién recuerda? 4 things. ¿A cómo se le llaman?
Drills.
This one, lo de acá, on the clothing. This one. For the clothing. This one. Las insignias, ¿se recuerdan de las insignias? Eso viene mucho de los rangos, ¿verdad? De los rangos de los oficiales. Okay, we have here all the stripes. Stripes. De esta manera nosotros vamos a poder identificar a alguien por su rango. Bien importante, ¿verdad? Bien importante saber. Es el rango, ¿verdad? Rank. Okay, take a look at that. So the captain, it has four stripes, and also the doctor. The doctor has 4 stripes. Chief officer, 3 stripes. Chief engineer, 4 stripes. The second engineer, three stripes. Third engineer, 2 stripes. Fourth engineer, 1 stripe. And the junior engineer, 1 stripe. The engine cadet, it has a different badge, different stripe. The electronic, 2 stripes. Second officer, Chief officer, 3 stripes. Second officer, third officer, okay? The cook or the chef, the steward, okay? Catering officer, and we have these words.
Epaulets.
Epaulets. Epaulets.
Epaulets.
An ornamental shoulder piece on an item of clothing, especially on the coat or jacket of a military uniform.
Epaulets.
Epaulets. Es bueno que, pues, como digo, si tienen ahí alguna agenda o algo que, en lo que vayan apuntando, pues, pueden ahí. Epaulets. So that's the way to distinguish all the officers, all the ranks. Epaulets. Captain, hotel director, staff captain, chief engineer, staff, chief engineer, chief officer, assistant, hotel director, executive, housekeeper, safety officer, personnel manager, ship physician, senior refrigeration engineer, and first engineer. Y vean que también van cambiando los símbolos de las insignias. All right? Pretty interesting, okay? Son rangos al final que ellos se han ganado con el tiempo, con esfuerzo. Okay, we were watching a fire drill. Pretty good fire drill. And let's continue. Man overboard. Man overboard. Not a good situation, right? Man overboard. Hombre al agua. On the ship's veil, 3 long rings. Okay, not a good thing. Not a good thing for that to happen. Man overboard. All right. We also have that on the monster list. We have all the things for the fire. We were watching that on the fire. If signal followed by 2 short blasts, fire, team down suits at muster. Okay. If signal repeated without interim, 2 short, all hands direct to lifeboats. Hay dos tipos también de incendios, miren. Si la señal está continua, pero está así seguida por 2 sonidos cortos, fuertes, ahí es donde pues se preparan para ir a combatir el fuego. ¿Okay? Y también dice que si la señal es repetida, ¿verdad? Sin esos dos, ese tipo de 2 pausas, se van a preparar todos hacia los botes, ¿verdad? Hacia los botes salvavidas. That's for the fire. And we have also all the lists. You can take a look after class. Pueden ver un poquito de las cosas que hacen cada uno de las personas. Por ejemplo, un marinero que haría deckhand, report to master station with portable extinguishers, assist the engineer when instructed, don fire suit, okay, and assist the fire team. Also the chef, el chef, mire que la verdad que también no puede como que estar solo así, bueno, voy a irme a la balsa o algo así, sino que empieza a trabajar bastante. Ensure the galley vents close. Galley vents close, que eso es la manera del galley es cocina, ¿ok? Okay, give me a minute. Okay. So the galley es cocina. Galley. Ensure the galley vents close. Gas off. Be on standby with portable extinguishers to assist chief engineer. Okay. Bastantes cosas que hay que hacer. So let's take a look at the MOV. MOV alarm. Man overboard. Man overboard. Okay. If you are seeing the live rings también es otra palabra para el survival quote. throws. If seen, throw life rings to move, raise alarm, and maintain visual contact at all times. Okay? Pretty important to maintain all the visual contact because it's pretty easy to just get lost of someone that is on water and the ship continues, okay, to move. So let's take a look at the man overboard. Drill, lo que había dicho Danilo, recuerdo, es también taladro ustedes. Por eso aquí miren, lo pone taladro del hombre al agua. Porque drill es simulacro y también es taladro. Y también es barrenar, o sea, es un verbo. Es un verbo, es una cosa, es el sustantivo el taladro y es también simulacro, ensayo, drill. Okay. Man overboard, drill, cruise ship. No, ese parece bueno. Abajo había uno que fue un simulacro pero que no lo anunciaron. O sea, de una vez así. Que actúen de una vez. ¿No?
When it comes to survival at sea, there is nothing more important or comforting than being properly prepared. Understanding the dangers that can overcome you and your vessel while at sea is a crucial part of surviving. On the other hand, you need to carry out drills so you can react quickly and without thinking in an emergency situation. The most practiced drills are man overboard, abandon ship, and fire drills. It is all about the life of yours and the people under your responsibility. So, be safe.
Man overboard is a potentially dangerous situation for a yacht at sea. Among the many threats that could undermine the proper course of the voyage of a vessel, accidents related to man falling overboard is one of them. Unfortunately, according to a report, a high percentage of all overboard incidents end in death. Man overboard procedures include 3 major steps: prevention, location, and retrieval. The 3 most common maneuvers that can be executed to turn a vessel back towards a man overboard in order for a rescue are the Anderson turn or single turn, Sharnoff turn, and the Williamson turn. We will discuss the Williamson turn in this video, which is the most commonly used maneuver on board larger yachts in the event of a person overboard. It is therefore very important for the yacht personnel to act immediately and execute the correct recovery methods so that the life of the person in the water is not endangered. At the time of this incident witnessed by other crew member alerts all aboard by calling out, "Man overboard," while keeping his eyes on the person in the water.
Man overboard, starboard side! Man overboard, starboard side!
A life ring or other floating materials should be deployed as soon as possible to assist casualty to float until recovery and to mark the scene of the accident. First person who saw a man overboard immediately inform the bridge or call for another crew or person to do the same, as well as pointing out his location. The skipper immediately checks his course so that he can steer a reciprocal course back to the person in the water. At the event of man overboard reported, put the rudder over full towards the person.
Hard to starboard side.
Hard to starboard side.
After deviating from the original course by 60 degrees, shift the rudder full to the opposite side.
Hard to port.
Hard to port.
When heading about 20 degrees short of reciprocal, put the rudder amidships to turn the vessel onto the reciprocal course.
Midship.
Midship.
Steady.
Steady.
If dealing with a man overboard, always bring the vessel until the vessel comes to a stop with the victim on the lee side of the boat. Stop the vessel in the water with the person well forward of the propellers. Start recovery procedure as per prevailing conditions. Every vessel must be able to carry out man overboard rescue methods efficiently. When someone falls overboard, it is invariably unexpected and under difficult conditions. At such moments, there is no time to think. Decisive action is of primary importance when a person falls overboard. One begins to act automatically, and these actions are based entirely on the knowledge and training gained previous to the accident. Ship's crew cannot cope with such a situation unless they are fully prepared for this. It is therefore vital that drills are conducted frequently on board a vessel.
All this and training activities have to be duly recorded in the official logbook. Also, details of drills shall be filled in company's safety management system. Hopefully, this video provides you a wide scope of drills, trainings and launchings that have to be carried out with survival crafts on board. We, as Turk PNI and Zone Spiyat Management, are with you all the time to keep you trained, to improve your skills.
Es una empresa que da entrenamientos. Okay, so that's kind of a, a difficult thing to find out. Así que es una situación muy difícil. Always be really, really careful. One of the main reasons is because people is working, close to the side of the ship and they fall. And also passengers, they start fooling around, empiezan a no comportarse muy bien los pasajeros y también se caen. Pero para los trabajadores es porque están trabajando muy cerca, ¿verdad? Del lado del barco. So 90% of mob deaths happened in calm weather with seas under 1 foot of height. Okay, imagine that. 90% of men overboard deaths happen in calm water with seas under 1 foot of height. Así que muchas de las muertes han pasado en agua tranquila. Dice. Some facts. Please, Angel, can you read the first 5? Hasta acá, ¿eh? Hasta el 90%.
Desde el 24%.
Yes, please.
Sobering move packs. 24% with characterized as falls overboard. 24% died at night. 76% died in daytime. 63% did not know who to swim. 8% of non-swimmers were wearing life jacket. 90% occurred in calm water with a shock.
All right, so 90% occur in calm water with, less than one feet of chop. Que era la estadística de por acá arriba. Okay, let's move to Tito, please. Las que siguen, please. Está regresando esto.
All right. 4% of the boats had two engines. 85% were men. Average, average age was 47. Alcohol consumption played a part in 27% and daytime death and 50% of nighttime death. How to prepare for a man overboard.
All right, pretty good. So I'll take a look at that. So 4% of the boats had two engines. 80% were men. Imagine that, 80% were men. Average age was 47. Alcohol consumption played a part in 27% of daytime deaths and 50% of nighttime deaths. Okay, people misbehaving, not acting like they should. Okay, so we have some of the tips on how to react for that. These are the fatalities each year from 2011 through 2015. Falls and fatalities. As for 2015, they had 200 and I will say 60 falls overboard and 150 fatalities. Okay, so there is a high percentage that you could die from falling overboard. Okay. Tiene otra estadística que es más mortífera que el fútbol. Ok, y dan entrenamientos y toda la cosa. Aquí dice alguien, I have come to think everyone needs to wear a PFD anytime we are underway. I always wear a belt pack PFD whenever, wherever, when underway. I have gone overboard several times, just getting on or off my boats, not even underway. Each time I went over, I was doing something which, if I had stopped and considered my actions, I would have done it differently. I am 73 with 60 years of boating experience, a retired towboat US operator with hundreds of yacht deliveries tows. Just last fall, I went overboard between my trawler and the pier while carrying a 5-foot ladder. The ladder snagged on something, then pulled me off of balance. I had not snugged the boat up close to the boarding ladder, as I usually do. I could have put the ladder aboard first, thus freeing up both hands. That's hindsight. With all my clothing on, tools in pockets, shoes, brackish water, time around 1,730 hours, nobody around. End of day tired. Treading water was difficult. I worked my way from amidships around to the stern swim ladder. I was just able to reach and pull it down, but it hung up on the pier by several inches. As I was hanging on the horizontal ladder, the boat slowly crept forward, so the ladder dropped down to the vertical position, hung up on the crow's stern lines. I got those clear so I could climb out. I now have a line tied to the swim ladder so it can be pulled down from in the water. I also installed a dock ladder aft of my boat, deployable from the water. I now have it firmly in my mind to snug the boat over while going on or off. to put items on board before stepping aboard. I will not go into the thoughts that went through my mind while I was in the water. I am not too proud to admit that this fall overboard really scared me, I believe, for the first time. Hopefully this happening will benefit other folks. Okay, so that's a pretty good story of, you know, of a simple thing, just carrying a ladder, right? Carrying a ladder to overboard, okay, and you know, falling, and with all the equipment, all the tools, all your clothing, to not being able to get into the ship again. Swim ladder. What's the swim ladder? Okay, that's a, you know, a mechanism that is going to go down, but it wasn't going down for the man. Okay, so he had some luck with that going down. A dock ladder, he didn't have that dock ladder. All right, so let's continue. So for you, Tito, what is the chief steward going to do on man overboard situation? Chief steward.
Chief steward. Control west from getting into the way of rescue. West may and should be used as spotters for search.
Okay, what's the meaning of that? Can you tell me about that? ¿Qué significará eso? ¿Qué es lo que va? Bueno, partimos de steward. Okay. Steward on a ship. Como el jefe, chief, el jefe de mayordomos. That's the chief steward. All right. Mayordomo del buque. So what that means is that during that alarm, that the man overboard alarm, he's going to control guests from getting into the way of rescue, and also guests can be used, okay, or should be used as spotters for search, okay, to keep an eye on the person that fell. All right. Let's continue. Abandoned ship is the general alarm followed by master's verbal order?
Abandon ship.
Okay, CO2 alarm. CO2 alarm is going to be a distinguished sound alarm that is different in pitch, una alarma diferente porque se va a poder configurar su sonido with separate visual alarm light. CO2 alarm. Okay, engine room alarm, engine room alarm. Engine room, la sala de máquinas o la sala de motores. Continuous sound alarm inside the engine room. There are different equipments that are monitored by a system there in the engine room. So when a machinery is going to malfunction, an alarm is going to be triggered by those systems for the engineers and the chief engineers, okay, to start looking at the problem. Navigation alarm. Navigation alarm. Continuous sound inside the navigation bridge. Okay. Navigation alarm. Acuérdense que es el puente de mando, navigation alarm, and the navigation bridge. Some systems are also, monitor. Los sistemas están monitoreados y cuando hay un mal funcionamiento de un sistema, the alarm is going to be raised. Navigation alarm. Like a continuous alarm. Okay. Well, this is the man overboard procedures. Pero incluso, miren, con un montón de procedimientos del hombre al agua, mucha gente muere. Así que es de las peores cosas que pueden pasar, pero que uno tiene que estar listo también para enfrentar eso de la mejor manera. Porque una porción muy grande era que no sabían nadar. Que, pues al final, ahí sí que no hay para dónde vamos. So for the CO2 alarm, we have the machinery space CO2 alarm and also the cargo space CO2 alarm. Okay. And this is not in the video. This is the ship security alarm system. Ship security alarm system. As per the SOLAS chapter 11 regulation 11.2.5, all ships shall be provided with a ship security alarm system. The ship security alarm system, SSAS, is silent sounded in a pirate attack emergency. When the SSAS is activated, no alarm is sounded on board the ship nor alert other vessels in the vicinity. Instead, this signal notifies different coastal authorities or competent authorities whose proximity the ship is presently operating via a global satellite system to inform about the piracy. about the piracy. Different alarm signals on the vessel are clearly described in the master list, and the action to be carried out shall all the crew members can perform the duties with no time in an actual emergency. It is of extreme importance that a seafarer knows the different types of alarms in a ship and recognize which emergency it represents. Okay. So those are the different types of alarms. I'm going to put the alarms for you, and you can tell me which alarm is it. Les voy a poner las alarmas en sonido y me van a decir qué alarma es. Okay. Which alarm is that? ¿Qué alarma era esa, ustedes? ¿De nuevo? Okay. ¿Quién sabe qué alarma es esa? Fire alarm, okay? That is a continuous alarm, a continuous sound. Okay, let's hear another one. Okay, which one is it? ¿Qué alarma era de ustedes?
Fire.
Fire was the previous one. Fire was the previous one, okay?
Men over.
Are you sure? Let's hear that again. Anyone?
Yeah.
Recuerden que tienen que estar pilas para eso usted. No vas a estar preguntando qué alarma es, así como que a las personas. General alarm. General alarm. Okay? Seven sounds followed by one long sound. All right? Okay, let's move to another one. So we have already fire, that is a continuous alarm. We have general alarm, that is going to be 7 sounds followed by one long sound. Get ready. Okay, what do you think that alarm is for? ¿De qué será esa alarma ustedes? Let's listen to that again. Okay. Man overboard. Man overboard. Hombre al agua. Man overboard. 3 sounds. 3 long sounds. Okay. 3 sonidos largos. Okay. Fire. 1 continuous ring or one continuous blast. Okay. From the ship's horn. General alarm. 7 sounds followed by 1 long sound. Man overboard, that's going to be 3 long sounds, 3 long sounds, okay? This is going to be, I think, the most easy, the easy one.
Abandoned ship.
Okay, which one is it? ¿Cuál es esa? That's the abandoned ship, abandoned ship, okay? Another one. Okay. Engine room, engine room. Okay, engine room, pretty good. Engine room alarm, pretty good. Let's hear another one. Okay, which one is it?
Navigation.
No. Sadly, no. Esa va a tener un sonido muy peculiar, muy diferente, ¿verdad? Incluso el sonido se cambia a través de la máquina, ¿verdad? Para que suene así. CO2 alarm, CO2 alarm. Va a ser muy distinta a todas las demás alarmas. And let's finish. Okay, what's that? ¿Cuál es esto? That's going to be navigation alarm, like small beeps inside the navigation bridge. Okay, así que hay que entrenar el oído para diferenciarlas y con cada una de ellas hay muchas acciones muy diferentes también. I'm going to send you the exam. Well, not the exam, but a small test. Les voy a enviar una pequeña evaluación de eso. Ahí les puse las instrucciones para que puedan cambiar el formato del examen para que puedan ponerlo en opción múltiple. All right. Así que actividad es responder a cada pregunta correctamente y colocar la captura de pantalla. Solo que primero hay que cambiarlo de formato para que salga tipo examen. ¿Ok? Questions about that? Any question? ¿Alguna pregunta a ustedes?
Any question, teacher?
Ok, creo que les puse el master list también. Ah, no les puse el master list. Lo voy a poner a master list para que puedan darle un ojo.
Teacher, ese examen lo podemos hacer a cualquier hora o ahorita.
Pues después me sea hoy, ¿verdad?
Ah, ok.
Please. Okay. So have a great day and let's meet again tomorrow.
Goodbye, teacher. Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye, teacher. See you tomorrow. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Goodbye.